Okay, now tell me about your little grand girl, because I know she's very
Bella,
special.
Isabella. So my husband is on his way back from dropping one of our kids off to Alabama. And Tropical Storm Faye is coming to Tampa. So I'm working ungodly hours, preparing for that. And luckily, Tropical Storm Faye skirted us and went somewhere else. So I'm exhausted. I'd worked pretty much through the night and then gotten home at 11 in the morning, and I said, okay, I'm behind on emails, let me check them at the house, and my husband calls me. Because baby Bella, about 10 days prior, had started getting a little thing on her nose. It was very strange, almost like a boil or something on the outside. Kept taking her to doctors, and they said it's a virus, something, we don't know. Finally, her pediatrician, her regular pediatrician, had come back in town and said she needs to go to a specialist. Sent her to a specialist, she had some tests, and then this is the phone call I'll never forget. My husband calls me, he's driving from Alabama, and he can barely speak. And my husband's not an emotional guy, okay? I have to tell you that, he's just not. And he is bawling, he is just crying. He's like, Bella has cancer. And I couldn't hear him, and I said, what? He said, Bella has cancer. I just dropped the phone, picked it back up. I said, well, let me call them. She says, they got to get to a doctor right away. Literally, it's 11 o'clock. We get that phone call. This is how quick it works. She's 8 months old. She has cancer. They said, you need to get an oncologist today. By 1 o'clock, she's at the oncologist. And so me, Grandma, Brian's ex-wife, and her husband, and Mom and Dad all go. And literally by 2:30, this is how quick it went, by 2:30, she has a room at St. Joe's Children's Oncology Cancer Center. That's how fast. And you walk into the oncology area where the kids are, and you know, you see it on TV all the time, the bald heads and all that, and there was a little 11-year-old girl walking down the hallway, and you see that she has no hair, and it just punches you right in the stomach, like, this is absolutely real. It's absolutely real. Within 2 days, they diagnosed her with acute myelogenous leukemia, which is actually an adult form of leukemia. Normally, little ones get ALL. This is AML. It's very aggressive, moves very, very fast. And they did all the tests on her, and I can remember sitting in the doctor's office after she had had the bone marrow and all the different tests, and the doctor said she has a 40% chance of survival, and had this thing on her nose not come up, she would have been dead in a month and a half, and you wouldn't have known why. That we all just couldn't stop from just tears just dripping down our face. So now the battle comes. First thing we did is, you know, Mom and Dad don't have a lot of money. They're a young couple, and in an older home, so we knew that they needed money, they needed help with money, they needed help with care. So our house is bigger than Grandma's house, so we said, okay, we need to gut a room, because first of all, the house has to be sterile. Gut a room, totally clean the house from top to bottom. Even though it's clean, I'm talking about clean. And get a room, an area nice for her and the family. So that's what we did. It was like full charge ahead. While they were in the hospital and staying in the hospital literally overnight for, I think the first time was over a month. That's what we did. And with the help of Tampa police officers, oh my gosh, you would not believe how many people came out of the woodwork from our department just to help. Any way they could, be it getting us diapers, getting us this, getting us that, or coming in actually ripping up floors, painting, doing whatever it is, cleaning ceiling fans, doing whatever it is we needed, they're there. So she got very, very sick, obviously. Up and down, you know, it was in the hospital, out of the hospital. The roadmap is about 7 to 8 months of chemotherapy, different days. Like the first bout of chemo was 10 days. But believe it or not, you'd never know. You just wouldn't guess that she's getting chemo. She did get sick, but she'd come home. We did some TV interviews, and because our PIO, who you met earlier, she set it up. And And then she did well, and then she gets sick again. If the fever goes to 101.5, back in the hospital immediately, because they have no immune system. Because leukemia attacks the immune cells inside the blood, the chemotherapy is killing all of them. So when her count goes low, she can't even fight off a simple, I don't know, exposure to something on the ground, you know, anything. So it's months. A gentleman in our department named Lieutenant Lovering, Rob Lovering, he came to me and he said, we want to help. And I know the bills are mounting. And the bills are, they'll never recover from those bills. They never will. But you want to be able to keep their house, to keep their cars, you know, those kind of things, because mom quit work. Dad doesn't make a lot of money. And so he says, we want to do a motorcycle ride. Okay, you know, they whooshed together all these people. And within a month and a half, had established this motorcycle ride for Bella. And we had hundreds of people came out. They got all kinds of sponsors, and it was absolutely overwhelming and humbling that people would take that much time to plan, to get all the different donations you need. It was called a poker ride, so they rode from location to location, and there's this little private zoo out in Pasco County that they stopped at, and then different places, and then they ended up at a Beef O'Brady's, and they had things for silent auction, they had giveaways, and if you could just see the site, for example, Bella actually was able to come for just a little bit. You can't touch her when she's on chemo because all those germs and stuff, but let's see if I have... Let's see, we can see she had a little do-rag and a little motorcycle shirt, and so anyway, she's so pretty. We had a little push thing for her, and she came out. So you picture police officers and not police officers, all in their motorcycle Harley gear, right? Big burly guys, and they are just wilted at the sight of baby Bella out there. I mean, just wanting to hold her, and they can't, don't touch her, you know. But there she sat in her little wagon thing, and as they're all pulling out of hundreds of them out of the parking lot, she's waving, and then they go. It was unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable, and they raised a lot of money to help them with the bills. A lot of money. Incredible for people to just pull together. The police department's amazing that way in helping somebody who's in need, and not even knowing who she is or knowing who mom and dad are, but because Brian and I are here and they know we're suffering, they pull together. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Bella today. We just got notice 2 weeks ago, is cancer-free. Yes. It's interesting, the thing on her nose would come back in between the chemo treatments, because we knew that it was still there. And she has spots on her liver and other places where it would start to congregate inside the blood, and then leave like little sarcomas all over. All gone. All gone. Absolutely amazing. People, there was a prayer chain going all over the world for her, and my uncle lives out in Taiwan. Everybody's doing it, and yeah, she's cancer-free. In fact, last night, they were actually starting to pack all their stuff up to head back and try to live a normal life. Now, she does have to get tested every month or every 3 months for 5 years for us to know that she's still cancer-free. But we got to take her to Alabama 2 weeks ago, and our youngest plays softball for Troy State, and they've all been wearing these bands. In fact, these are these bands that they bought with little orange ribbons in their hair. So you have to picture baby Bella out there on the field, softball field at a college. She's gonna throw out the first pitch. So she's got a little Troy gear on, and she comes out there, and Ashley, the youngest, she's on the team, and she helps her walk all the way up to the catcher and then roll the ball, and then they go, let's hear it for baby Bella, our hero. It's awesome. It was awesome.